Anime is a platform that lets creators showcase the most fun and hype-inducing stories. One of the most popular genres is the exciting world of fantasy. I mean, who wouldn't want to use magic and fight monsters? Welcome to DoubleDollars, and today we will be listing off the top 10 fantasy anime with an overpowered main character. Like always, if you enjoy this list, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our uploads. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Starting at number 10, suppose a kid from the last dungeon, Boonies, moved to a starter town. In a remote village, we see a familiar story. A young boy named Lloyd dreams of becoming a great warrior, fighting hordes of demons for his kingdom. His village does not look down on him for this. In fact, the mayor gives him full blessings to pursue this wish. Journeying to the capital, Lloyd introduces himself to the witch Marie, a former student of the mayor. Though Marie is willing to help Lloyd, his sudden appearance gives her a lot of concern. First of all, she quickly realizes Lloyd is incredibly strong. As it turns out, Lloyd is a descendant of a long line of demon slayers. Because their town lives on the border between humans and demons, this difference in living means Lloyd does not even realize his own strength, casually casting advanced magic or crushing things without much thought. If you're looking for a lighter watch with some fun comedy and action, this anime may be the one you want to check out. Number 9, Aesthetica of a Rogue Hero. This story takes place at the end of another. The hero has defeated the Great Demon King, and he now returns to his original Earth. Atsuki Osawa is the name of this hero, and he brings along the Demon King's daughter. Akatsuki's skill and power earned him the interest of a powerful high school by the name of Babel. The high school specializes in housing teens who came from another world and honing their powers they gained from that respective world. Passing Miu off as his sister to keep cover, they must go through the mundane difficulties of everyday Earth, as well as the ominous threats behind the scenes. For an unorthodox take on the fantasy reverse isekai genre, this anime might be to your aesthetic. Number 8, The Cautious Hero. In this fantasy comedy series, we learn that there's actually countless worlds being invaded by demons. That is why the god summons people from Earth to serve as those worlds' heroes. In fact, it becomes a whole system. Restart is a novice goddess of healing who is expected to save a world with an S ranking in terms of difficulty. With a bit of hard work, she wrangles up the immensely powerful and talented Seiya Ryugyuin, hoping that he has what it takes to save the world. Unfortunately for the goddess, Seiya is incredibly cautious, and he has a habit of refusing to take action until the last possible moment in order to go into every situation perfectly prepared. Restart has to help Seiya from his overt cautiousness so that the world is safe before it's too late. If you're a bit tired of the typical isekai power fantasies, this affectionate parody subverts all your usual expectations.
You need to listen carefully, okay? This guy, your hero, nut job.
It's true. I'm well aware.
Number 7, Fushigi Yuugi.
He's got a symbol on his forehead.
Miyaka Yuki is content to spend her life eating sweets and avoiding schoolwork. However, when visiting the library one day with her best friend, they find a very strange book. The book is titled Shijin Tenchi Shiho, which translates to the Book of the Four Gods of Heaven and Earth. It turns out the book acts as a gateway into another world resembling medieval China. As anime tradition dictates, the two friends find themselves falling into the said gateway. However, Yui manages to return almost immediately to the real world, but her friend Miyaka remains stuck. Miyaka soon finds out she's the destined priestess of the god Suzaku. Now she must help gather the 7 holy warriors and save the land from its great enemy, the country of Kuto. Fushigi Yuugi is the grandma of modern isekai and is considered one of the first major successes of the genre. If you're looking for a classic, Fushigi Yuugi is one of the best you could hope for. Number 6, Drifters. In this oddball take on the isekai genre by Hellsing creator Kouta Hirano, Drifters pits some of the greatest historical figures in Japan's history against a fantasy world full of elves and monsters. These world-hopping heroes are called Drifters, and the main 3 we follow are the bloody berserker Shimazu Toyohisa, the cunning leader Oda Nobunaga, and the sharp-eyed pretty boy Suketa Yoichi. Their main opponents in this strange twist of fate were not evil in their original lives, but are now cutting a bloody mark onto this new world. Joan of Arc and Anastasia Romanov are only some of the historical figures our hero has to face off against. If you're a huge fan of Kouta Hirano's over-the-top violence and penchant for bloody, edgy goodness, then Drifters is gonna be a hell of a time for you. Number 5, World Break. Aria of Curse for a Holy Swordsman. Moroha Haimura enrolls in a special private school for children known as Saviors. They're split between 2 kinds. The Shirogane use weapons enhanced with praha extracted from their bodies to defeat their foes. The Kuroma use their powers of mana to banish their enemies with powerful magic. Students find out which gift they have through ancestral memories of their past lives. Moroha astonishes the school by becoming the first savior in recorded history to remember his memories both as a Shirogane and a Kuroma. One past life has him as an archmage, leading a rebellion of slaves against their captors, along with his wife. In another, he is a notorious swordsman who fights only to protect his little sister. His skills deepen the more he remembers these past lives. For those looking for another school battle fantasy show to binge on, don't let this show fade into memories. Number 4, The Misfits of Demon King Academy. Over 2,000 years ago, humanity was on the brink of extinction. Entire nations and vast forests of spirits burned against the massive demon hordes. Even the god themselves did not stand a chance. All of this horror is thanks to the work of one being, the demon king Anos Voldigod. Despite his conquest, the king grew bored of the relentless conflict on both sides. That's why when the human hero, flanked by the god of creation and the great spirit, breaks into his throne room, the demon king welcomes them with a deal. With their combined magic, they will separate all 4 realms for 1,000 years to let the old hatreds grind to dust. After that, the hero is free to kill him. When 1,000 years pass, Anos has been reborn, powerful yet completely ignorant of what has happened in the past 1,000 years. That doesn't stop his stride though. With his 2,000 years of experience, Anos is ready to retake his throne once more. If you're looking for a good old-fashioned power fantasy, this is a fun show to watch. Number 3, how not to summon a demon lord. Takuma Sakamoto is the bread and butter, no social skill, neat protagonist. However, in the MMORPG Cross Reverie, he is the strongest player in the world, and calls himself Diablo, the Demon Lord, because why wouldn't he? Inexplicably, he finds himself awake in the body of Diablo, his in-game character. Beneath him is a shoddy summoning circle, and in front of him a elf girl and a cat girl who seem to be his summoners. The two girls are excited, and while he is bound to the circle, they cast an enslavement spell in hopes of bending the Demon Lord to his will. Unfortunately for them, Diablo has a passive skill that he reflects all magic to the user. The two girls are now enslaved against their will to Diablo, and Diablo, in a panic, calls himself the Demon Lord and goes out to adventure. This anime is chock full of fan service and honestly pretty silly. If you're down for some pervy shenanigans though, then this anime is definitely for you.
Never expect mercy from a demon lord.
Number 2, problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? Great. Three extraordinary children find themselves leading incredibly ordinary lives. Despite their psychic gifts, they haven't been able to find any avenue to use it past novelty. One day, however, they are invited to a mysterious place that is only known as the Little Garden. When they arrive, a little garden is not at all what they find. Instead, they find themselves transported into a whole new world. In this world, they are greeted by Kurosagi, a blue-haired rabbit girl who explains that they are now given the chance to participate in a high-stakes game that tests the extent of their powers. To prove themselves worthy of the title, however, they need to join a community and help them regain their status across the land. Although mischievous, these kids ultimately want to help these residents. For those looking for an older show with an ensemble cast of strong protagonists as opposed to a singular overpowered main character, this show won't be a problem for you. Number 1, Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. When a coworker disappears with no warning whatsoever, the 29-year-old programmer Suzuki threw all of his time into programming to cover for lost time. With 80-hour work weeks to finish the contract on the game they're finishing, Sato takes much needed rest once he's released from QA, and he goes underneath the table to sleep. When he opens his eyes, however, he finds himself in a fantasy world 15 years younger. A screen tells him that he is level 1, and yet he has access to the spell Meteor. Why? I have no clue, which he can use 3 times. In self-defense, he casts the spell against a dragon and inadvertently destroys its entire civilization, because, of course he can. All those high-level deaths mean he instantly gets a ton of XP and loot in an instant. And now that he is all-powerful, he decides to just roam the world, seeing the sights and gaining companions along the way. This is the most straightforward isekai on the list, so if you're in for a regular isekai experience, then give this one a shot. And that's the video. So, did you like our list? How many of these shows have you already watched? Are there any shows you want to watch now that you've seen this video? Whatever your thoughts, feel free and share it down below. And don't forget, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later.